Hey everyone, welcome back to Ben Robinson Guitars. Today is part 2 of my custom shop series where you get to come along and you get to see and follow the process of what it takes to get a custom shop guitar made. If you haven't watched part 1, go back and watch it. Today though is part 2. And part 1 was really, a lot of it was the spec sheet. What is this guitar? What do you want to see? How is it different from what we have here? And we really drove through this spec sheet of changes. I take this spec sheet then and I go back to the computer and I go to work and I incorporate changes. Then I take some mock-ups, some screenshots. This is what the guitar looks like. Send it back for the customer's approval. What do you think? And typically they look at it for a couple of days and inevitably they come back with revisions. And there's no case here. So let's talk about these revisions and what I do to overcome these changes. And really, most of them is pretty simple. I probably, and revisions are common. I generally probably get 90% of the way there out of the gate. But there's always some things that we need to do to really lock that last few percentage into what the customer wants. So first off, fretboard radius. Standard Fender specs, 9.5-inch radius. That's just common. He is used to a 12-inch radius, and he played this guitar. This guitar's 9.5. He played it, he liked it, and then I really started questioning him, hey, do you want the 9.5, do you want the 12? And ultimately he came back and said, let's go 12. Easy to do. In fact, you think, oh wow, it's gonna be horrible trying to change that radius. The way I've got it dialed in, it's pretty simple. Number 2 is fret material. He plays a lot, and he wears nickel silver frets out. So we're gonna change these to stainless. So that's a relatively easy change to make too. Change 3 though is a little more involved, and the best way to do it is just describe it. So, and it has everything to do with the way the neck heel joins into the body here. And you got this flat spot right here, which is typical Strat style guitar specs. If you look at your Strat, you're going to have that flat spot because generally this body comes out square. It's not curved, and it covers most of that up. But he has a fusion guitar of mine, and he's used to it. I'm just going to show you because I think it'll be easier to see. We got this guy. Now, look at the neck pocket here. There is no flat spot. The heel of the neck right here follows this radius on the body. And it just provides just a seamless transition, and you know, that's what he's used to. So really, I just kind of overlooked it because we're having a more open cutaway. You know, some of this material is being removed to provide a even more comfortable handhold position here. And really, I neglected to change the neck, and he caught it, and I'm glad he did. This neck would have been fine, but that neck there with that profile that follows the body, going to put it over the top. So we're going to make those changes, and if you hang tight a little bit, we're going to go to the computer, and you'll get to see my process of how I make those adjustments. So really, those were the changes. Let's work on the neck heel where it joins the body, change fretboard radius, and change the fret to stainless, and you know, hey, that works. Let's talk about material for a little bit. This is the material that I'm going to use on his guitar. So a piece of alder, and alder's great. This is a painted guitar. We were going to go seafoam green, and then we've shifted a little bit to Sherwood green, and actually a metallic. So it's just a deeper, darker green. Plus the metallic is just going to add some sparkle. Alder works great for painted guitars, so we're going to go with an alder body. As far as neck material goes, we're going to use a piece of African mahogany. This is a quarter sawn African mahogany. You can see the ribbons. Great neck material, and you know, quarter sawn is just going to make it absolutely rock solid. As far as what we're going to do to finish the neck, interesting on this. Generally I'll stain the necks, and I still might just do a little bit of stain on here to just provide some flavor, but and I may not. It might just be completely a natural neck, and the reason is he loves a woody feel on the neck, And if you've played outside or played outdoors in the heat, this is a gloss neck. It gets sticky. But if you go with a natural finish and a very thin clear coat on it, boy, this has just got a great feel, and your hands don't stick. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna use an oil varnish, pretty thin. It's gonna have this woody feel, not gonna fill the grain. It's just gonna have a great wood feel to the neck. And here's the beauty of going light. He's going to wear through it. We've talked about it. He's going to wear through it, but it's okay. If I don't put any stain on here, then I should be able to just clean it real well and reapply more oil varnish and get that neck back to its original condition. It's easy to put more finish on than it is to take finish off. So that's what we're going to do with the neck. Really going to be a great piece. This is the fingerboard, a really good piece of Indian rosewood here. Again, quarter sawn. You can see the nice grain, straight grain pattern. Great fingerboard here. It's going to look good on his guitar. So hey, I tell you what, if you like this content, like, subscribe, leave comments. I love to hear from the community. Give us a second. We're going to jump over to the laptop and we're going to describe the change on this neck joint. We'll catch you all guys later. Okay, everybody, we're at the computer desk, and this is the Legend with the 24 frets, and it's a simplistic model, but you're able to really get a feel for what this guitar is going to look like, and without just the insane amount of time it will take to model absolutely everything. You know, putting the frets in, putting the dot locators, putting tuners and everything in. Well, that can be done. It's really just not necessary for this. Let's just have the model that shows you what it is, and then we'll make a guitar out of it. So you're getting a good look, at it. We talked about humbucker single, so you can see really how this area right here has been compressed, and it brings everything together. Tremolo obviously is in the same spot. Those controls there are in the same spot. Um, but you know, just the pickups and everything are going to be just set closer together. So really, you know, I sent this to the customer, and he's happy with everything he's seen. There is one little thing that we need to go work on. I'm going to do that. Let me show you this. So we talked about in the video when we were looking at the guitar. We talked about the neck heel and how, you know, typical Strat style guitar has that just massive heel block where the neck attaches, and this is what I did for him. He wanted much more access in there, and so obviously you can tell this is going to be very easy on the hands. This edge, this edge right here, I'll round that over a little bit. It won't be significant right here, but this surface right there, I really round it off, and I don't model this. I do it by hand once I get it off the machine, but it's really going to roll into this radius here real well. And that's just you know, a thing that I can do when I'm producing the guitar, actually making it. So quite a bit different than your traditional Strat style heel block, and but that's something that we're gonna do, and it is going to make the guitar much more comfortable to play. So that's a design feature that's going to be in this next one. Now, as I said, the customer has seen this, and there is one thing that he is going to have me do, and frankly, I'll probably just go ahead and do this here on the screen. But you know, this is what I'll call a traditional Strat neck with this rounded profile, but it does not match this curve right here. So what he's asked me to do is to have this curve match this curve, and that is definitely possible. Something that we can most certainly certainly do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and the easiest way to do this is I'm going to come over here to the body itself, and this is the sketch body. I'm going to edit the sketch real quick. I'm going to turn it so keep my orientation the same. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to select these lines right here, and a couple of those holes, and I'm going to copy this.
And then I'm going to come over to the neck. We're going to show the sketches. And I'm going to edit the sketch. So, and I'm going to paste. There we go. There it is. So I'm going to paste that in there. Now, that is the original profile. This is the profile of the neck, uh, of the neck itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move. Actually, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to create a copy of that. And we're going to do a point to need to copy there. And I'm going to select this point, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select the corresponding point. So now you can see that little bit of difference right there. So I'm going to say okay, and so there's just a little bit of clearance. If you can see that, I have a little bit of built-in clearance between the neck pocket and the neck. Is actually right around 5/1000ths of an inch, and what that does is it gives me the opportunity as I apply the finish. There is thickness to the finish, and it allows me to still have a neck pocket that isn't like super tight, but yet tight enough to give me the tone that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that line, and I'm going to delete this line. And actually, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that radius right there also. And so that's going to be so that's that neck pocket that we're looking for. Well, I'm going to extend now. I'm going to extend that line to the surface. And I need to trim that little tab right there. All right. Now, you can always tell. So when I click that, you can see, and if I zoom in, how when it highlights like that, that means that it is a closed. There are no air gaps. It'll hold water, so to speak. There's no opening on there. Now, when I do this, I'm going to delete that line, and that's going to break a couple of things. But you can see the difference on how that neck has changed. So I'm going to get some errors here, and it's telling me, and you can start seeing some problems. The geometry has so effectively it's broken the geometry. So we need to go back and fix that. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to edit our side profile, and I am going to delete all the yellow geometry. And now we're editing the side sketch. So when you're 3D modeling, how you do this is you have to create. You draw the three views. Really, I'm drawing two of the views, and then I'm building the 3D based on the intersections of those planes. So uh, what I need to do, this line here used to be connected with the previous block. So I'm going to delete. Oh, don't want to delete that one. I want to delete that one. All right, and so we're getting pretty close. I'm going to create a. I'm going to now project that there. So now what I can do. Oh, maybe you got the wrong one. I'm going to get this intersection right there. That's the intersection that I want, where that goes red. All right, now it's an inch, so I'm gonna catch that point now. And I'm gonna come down 1 inch. All right. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna create an arc. And I'm gonna start here, and that's what we want. See how that little yellow or green tangent shows up? That's what I'm looking for. And then I'm gonna create another line, and we're gonna go from there. to that point right there. Now you'll notice when I did that, based on the relationships, all of these lines turn from blue to black. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. Um, and there are a couple of other things that I need to do. I'm not too worried about that one being black yet. So I'm actually, just for time, I'm going to move forward. I think I'm happy with that. I'm going to finish that sketch. All right, we need to go back to the top profile. And we need to look and okay, so you see that line right there. There's a blue line right there, and there's another blue line there. So what I need to do, I need to actually, for modeling later, I need to delete that line and I need to delete that line. And I need to trim this guy. I've got to get back to where those two lines intersect. And notice how I have a little gap there, and when I hold my cursor over here, it does not highlight. So that means it doesn't hold water, and that's because of this little hole right here. So I'm going to extend that guy right there, and now you notice it holds water. So I'm going to create a line, and we're going to go from there to there, and we're going to go, there it goes, and we're going to go from here to here. And for some reason, it's taking a second. There it goes. All right, and now you notice that's holding water as well. So we're going to go ahead and finish that sketch. And so now I'm going to fix that boundary fill later. And so now what I do is I have to edit this feature. And really what I need to do, it's going to take me a second. I'm just going to, I have to go fill. Anytime you change the sketches, it's trying to figure out where in the world he's coming from. And so you end up losing a little bit of the, and I should have just, there's other ways to do this, but okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna go and we're gonna hide the side profile so I don't see it. We're gonna look distinctly at this top, and I'm gonna do that. So it's gonna go ahead and fill all of that, and I just need to come back and select these few remaining areas. All right, and that should be there. Okay, now you notice that I'm getting close. So this right there, and that's going to be okay. It's going to make that loft completely disappear. So we need to go back and recreate that loft. All right. And we're going to use that profile there. And we're going to loft it to that. And there you notice it shows up. But one other thing I want to do is I want to constrain this a little bit. And these are just add some rails for, I'm going to turn the bodies off so you can see it a little better. I'm going to constrain it, and I don't want that chained. We're going to constrain it to that rail. We're going to constrain it to that rail. And we're going to constrain it to that rail. And when I come back and I turn this loft back on, it ties all the geometry together. The other thing I'm going to do is this over here, you can see is profile 1. I'm going to change this. Well, let's see. I'm going to take, I don't want that. So, and it may, because I have enough space, it might have already went ahead and made it near tangent. It wasn't giving me the tangent selection. So I'm thinking it's so near tangent the way that it came together. All right. So with the exception of this boundary fill that's related up here, I'll go fix that. And we're going to go ahead and turn these sketches off. So I went ahead and I made that change. And let's go see what this thing looks like. And this is the beauty of this 3D parametric modeling. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. All right, and then we're going to come back to the assembly, and you're going to notice this right here. It says a component. Yeah, one reference is out of date. Update it. And so we're going to do that. And I'm going to show this here. And we went ahead and we made that change. We made that change for the that the customer requested. And that right there is the beauty of me being my custom shop guy, being able to dial in exactly what that customer wants. And again, this line right here, and this profile over this line right there. When I actually produce the guitar, these are going to be rounded over, so that's going to be a nice radius edge. And again, I could model that, but it's more time that I don't necessarily need to do. And so there you have it. That's the beauty of the custom shop. So hey, I tell you, if you like this content, like, subscribe, follow, and I'll be posting additional videos of this down the road as I start to produce this guy. Catch you all later.